Gadget UK here again. Thought we'd just have a look at this. As you can see, Adaptor R.V.B. On the back, Sega, model 3085. Sega Enterprises Limited, made in China. So this is an RGB SCART adapter. As you can see, you've got a SCART adapter on one end and the standard DIN type connector on the other. So did just briefly test this, had sound, no picture. Could be a problem with this, could be one of those transistors failed. Mind you, I think you've probably got one for each of the colours there, possibly not, but I suspect so. So I'd expect if one of those had gone, you wouldn't get, you know, you get different colours or something. But I mean, there's a lot of components I can check on there. I guess it's going to be powered. There's a diode. I can check that diode. That chip could have gone, I guess. But the fact we're getting nothing, I suspect there's going to be a missing sync or something somewhere. Could be the cable. So I'm going to take this plastic connector off here and just check this. It feels a bit loose. Right, this is what's wrong with this, as far as I can tell. Look at the state of that. You can tell someone's melted all the plastic here. I don't know how you do that. It takes an awful lot of incompetence to melt so much of the plastic when you're just heating a single pin there. And that join there, that's a very interesting one. Look at the state of that. That's just scary. That was just flowing around in there. I mean, there's a chance that might have been touching something else. I'll give it a try with it exposed like this, but it's just a bit strange, really. Strange in the sense that, you know, you've got some things cut off here. So probably gonna have to go away and get the pinouts for SCART connector in order to make some sense of this. The way I'm lucky with this really is that you can see the board's marked there. So I've got sync, blank, ground, sound, presumably +5, ground. I think +5's up here actually, VDD. Yeah, and then you've got green, red, blue. So I can sort of make sense of some of the wires versus the pinouts if I look at, let's say, some proper pinouts for SCARTs. But yeah, on the DIN side, there's nothing wrong with this. I'm going to reassemble this. Aside from that, the shield is not connected to anything, but that will make a connection to this when this is tightened up. And that wasn't very tight at all. But you can slide these, they're not heat shrink these. You can slide these back just to check, and I've checked all the pins. They're all connected there, so there's nothing wrong with that. I'll reassemble that and let's say tighten that up, because that was loose and that wouldn't have helped. But yeah, and then I'll give it another try, like I say, with it exposed, just to see. Right, after a lot of messing around, I've got this working. What I've had to do is make a cut to where the sync signal goes out to the SCART, so that it doesn't go through the adapter effectively and bypass it to that purple wire there, the third one coming in, which is the sync in. So the sync just goes straight through, and that works fine, and the picture looks really good. It's not stereo, unfortunately. These were mono, but nevertheless I'll reassemble this now. But I'm going to clean up this first, because whatever someone's done to this in the past is just an absolute state. So I don't want to mess with this too much longer. All I've done is just quickly reflow a couple of the pins there. They still look a bit of a mess, to be honest, because it's like I say, they've had tons of solder put in there, and someone's melted the plastic. But I've smoothed the edges of this plastic down a bit as well, just to cut off, because there was like melted plastic stuck up on both sides. So whilst there's still a couple of questionable looking joints there, it's okay now for the most part, and just used a bit of heat shrink tubing there to join those two. The way it sits in the thing there should be okay, so I'm relatively happy with that, so I'll reassemble it. So there we go, all cleaned up, cleaned all the connectors, cleaned the case. It's looking pretty new, really. Cleaned the SCART connector as well, and the wire. Yeah, then there's a few scratches on it, but it's in pretty good condition, that. So I'll just show you it working. Right, so this is World of Illusion. Yeah, I can tell that's a lot clearer than it would be on composite. So the RGB is definitely working there. Yeah, that's really clean picture. I'm pleased with that. The only downside to this cable, as I mentioned earlier, there's no stereo sound on it. You know, it seems like an afterthought on Sega's part, really, the whole stereo sound, especially with Mark 1. By the time it came to Mark 2, obviously they corrected that, and the video cables and things will support stereo. You can still, you know, wire up the sound. How'd you get that? Via, you know, a separate amplifier or something. But yeah, pleased with that. That was only £3, so thanks for watching. See you soon.